Good day, everyone, and welcome to Obidient Family TV. The program is Hope Alive. Yes, there is hope, and our hope is very much alive. As we can see, His Excellency P2B has been going round and round Nigeria, which we brought before you earlier today. And in today's and this evening's program, again, we are also going to show you more and more places, as P2B said, he is forming strong alliances. And that is what is needed, as we know that we are redefining our options. So that we will come back to it a little bit. But the major discussion we want to have this evening has to do with Tinubu's declaration that this Binance executive did escape from custody. It is really embarrassing for the nation, Nigeria, that its highest organ, the NSA's office, led by Nuhu Ribadu, can actually allow such a thing to happen, or are they joking? This we have to find out, because they have now revealed how this man did escape. That will be coming shortly. So please make sure you are tuned on. And again, we'll take you through the details of what Tinubu himself said, outside of what Bayo Onanuga, his spokesman, his mouthpiece, coming out from his mouthpiece. We'll be bringing that. And a lot more that we want to talk, especially as we also see that these 137 abductees that were actually released by the kidnappers. We saw that they have visited the state government house, and Governor Obasani of Kaduna State have also talked on it, absolving Gumi of the Sheikh Gumi of being the negotiator, and also not agreeing with insinuations in certain quarters about ransom payments. But he did state clearly that somebody died while in captivity, and that is one of the teachers in that place. He also confirmed that it is 137 that did come back from that very thing, and they are working towards getting the others. One thing again I want to mention is sending credit to the Nigerian Army intelligence and all of that for the safe return of these people, while we did not hear anything coming out from the defense headquarters as them being the people who actually rescued, because we learned that these people were released in Zamfara, not even in Kaduna State. More of that to come. Now, I'm not the only person to speak all about this. I have Divine in the studio.
One more call, thank you for joining us on today's episode.
Yeah, so as you are joining us today, please like and share so that other Obedients will know what is happening in Nigeria. So let's get straight to the major discussion, which has to do with NSA, the National Security Service, as we know, that controls most of them, of the military, heads and all of that. Why would they come to tell Nigerians to start looking for a man who escaped in their custody, where they are the one that warehouses the architecture of intelligence in Nigeria?
Well, like we said earlier, to be honest, it took, an inside work, right? Because somebody that was detained lawfully in lawful custody, just escaping with supposedly, a smuggled passport. It just shows that that Nigeria is not yet serious. Because imagine this was a terrorist, because mind you, he was being detained under allegations of terrorism financing on the platform of Binance, right? And so it is just very unserious of the NSA to actually come out and tell Nigerians that the person who was lawfully kept in their custody, that they cannot account for him. And so Bayo Onanuga has come out, of course, to tell his own part of the story as spokesperson of the Tinubu-led administration.
Yes, let's take a look at what Bayo Onanuga, who is the mouthpiece of Tinubu. So we might rightfully assume that this is Tinubu sending message to Nigerians on what transpired between this Binance executive. Let's start with what they said, Abuja, 25th of March, 2024. The Office of the National Security Advisor confirms that Nadeem Anjarwalla, a suspect in the ongoing criminal probe into the activities of Binance in Nigeria, has escaped from lawful custody on Friday, 22nd March 2024. Upon receiving these reports, this office took immediate steps in conjunction with relevant security agencies, ministries, departments, agencies, as well as the international community to apprehend the suspect. Security agencies are working with Interpol for an international arrest warrant on the suspect. Preliminary investigation showed that Mr. Anjarwalla fled Nigeria using a smuggled passport. The personnel responsible for the custody of the suspect have been arrested, and a thorough investigation is ongoing to unravel the circumstances that led to his escape from lawful detention. Recall that the federal government of Nigeria, like other governments around the world, have been investigating money laundering and terrorism financing transactions perpetrated on the Binance currency exchange platform until his escape. Nadeem Anjarwalla, who holds British and Kenyan nationalities and serving as Binance African Regional Manager, was being tried by Nigerian courts. Let me stop here. Really, it is embarrassing, as it were already. First of all, is there any court in Nigeria that this man has been taken to since the arrest?
Oh, they said he escaped while he was under a 14-day remand order by the courts, meaning that he was under he was asked to be detained. So we don't know. He was meant to appear in court for the first time in April 4th, right? And so he just left, or rather escaped before this time where he was going to appear before the courts. But to be honest, the long and short of it is that there are questions that need to be answered by the NSA, Nuhu Ribadu, and all security agencies, because these steps that Bayo Nanuga is coming out to say immediately the head of the escape steps were taken, it's just a bit too late, to be very honest, because these steps could have been taken to ensure that Nigeria is not used as a form of ridicule or caricature in the international organization, or rather in the international space. Because imagine how weird it sounds to say that somebody you accuse, or you said he's privy to terrorism financing and money laundering that goes on the platform, you eventually were able to lay hands on him, and just because of negligence or corruption, as the case may be, you let this person escape. So it's just very sad to see, and it is a very shameful and embarrassing thing for Nigeria. And
not just embarrassing, not just embarrassing, Divine. NSA is really for them to have even said to lose this very person is a shameful thing on Nigeria. And when I see this very article coming out from Tinubu spokesman Bayo Nanuga, citing that Interpol has been invited, and at the same time asking Nigerians to help them to fish this same Binance executive out, really tells a story. Are they telling us the man has fled out of Nigeria, or that he is still in Nigeria? Because they said they launched a manhunt to capture him, and again they came to the other side and said they are inviting Interpol. The person who is responsible for his escape, if what they are saying is true, because we have been hearing a lot of things coming out from this government that is not true. Another thing that might come out now to say is that maybe this man is not even, maybe he has lost his life or something like that. A lot of things do happen. Now, I'm not saying that may have happened, but a lot of this kind of stuff come out from them, not truth. So we need to know if this man is actually still living. We need to know who is the person who aided him, since they've confirmed that he is being aided by somebody who is working at that very National Security Advisor's office. Nigerians need to know that the people who are handling their intelligence is really up to it, and they can be able to deliver on the job. If not, this is enough to find Ribadu from that very job. National Security Advisor's office. Well, you can go to comment section and, make your own comment and your opinion known. But what we have now confirmed is that it is one of the officials of National Security Advisor's Office that will house this man in that very guest house that aided his escape, which is still the corruption that we are talking about that revolves around them. And one of these reasons, if we recall, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu had been asking the Nigerian court to send him to another prison and not to be in DSS custody. They have maintained that he should be there. Now, maybe he has seen the corruption that is inside there and he decides to leave that environment that may be toxic. That is what we see in this administration. Nothing goes straight. If we look at the issue of the release of the abducted children, we have shown pictures of these very abducted children. They go to government house to do photo ops, but at the same time, the question that is in the lip of every Nigerian is, how were they released? How? Can you tell Nigerians this is how? And the people who held them captive for weeks now, have we arrested anybody from them? If you are negotiating with them, why not tell Nigerians the truth that you are still negotiating? All this is about truth. To trust a leader that is holding those kind of offices, like the office of the president, office of the national security advisor, these are people that should always comfort. Yes, hide the things that you don't want the people to hear, but let the people know what the truth is, so that they will know where to go. People were rescued in Zamfara state, not in Kaduna. They were kidnapped in Kaduna, rescued in Zamfara, not rescued, but released in Zamfara. Where and which part did they take? Is it the leg that they trekked from that very particular Kaduna up to Zamfara and they know but none of them collapsed? Let us tell ourselves the truth. This administration, this Tinubu's administration need to come open and tell Nigeria certain truth for them to have confidence moving forward. Let's take another thing that we have on the list here. We have our own P2B, His Excellency, paying a courtesy visit to Skyline University, and let's take a listen to what was said at that very visit, while we now come back to this issue, lawful custody and all the other things.
Upon the
So stay with me, man. Yeah. So Mr. Peter B is here today. I just wonder, what does that mean for you, and what's the Skyline University all about?
Well, it's a great pleasure receiving Mr. Peter Obi here in Skyline University. I have been following his career and, the 2 times governor, and a lot of work he's doing in an NSA, which really makes me feel very much connected. I'm sure he's going to look into the part of education, and his presence here makes me feel confident that there are leaders who are thinking about education and bringing the youth up.
Thank you. I'll talk to you some more. What did you say?
I said the almighty Peter Obi is coming to our school.
Yeah, excited to see him.
Because when I came,
Good to see you.
we have coach team also created a good awareness and how we can look at international stock support local companies, research, our students incentives with cash rewards, where can we management to publish international, and then we start looking at outside Nigeria for research. just understanding that the research culture is an important
Like I said again, Mr. Peter B is here on a courtesy call to the Skyline University here in Kano. Anything for education, anything for the upliftment of the people.
We are advertising, but it takes time for.
So, Mr. Peter B is here on a courtesy call. You guys know who Mr. Peter B is?
Yes.
Anything for education, obedience, yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Online services, all we have some robotic video. Here students are robotics, the complete robotic training. Excellency, our executive director.
That is His Excellency Peter Obi visiting or paying a courtesy visit to Skyline University in Kano, as we see. And many questions that are being brought to us here is why is Peter Obi visiting and going around in this tour? This is the people's president. That is always my answer. And why am I saying he's the people's president? He has to go round and round forming alliances, and that is also what he said in his tweet. So earlier in the day we brought that. He said he's going around and forming strong alliances, and we know where that is leading up to. Of course, like we said, we have to form a very solid foundation for 2027 or against 2027. We have to be solid on ground, especially the grassroots, and that's why we keep talking about the Obidient Family Cooperative Society in all the local government. But we will get to that. We also know that Peter Obi also went to Kebbi State, which we want to bring to you. In Kebbi State, he also mentioned a whole lot of things that has to do with agriculture and production, from consumption to production, as he says that Kebbi State has the capacity to feed the nation. Let's take a listen to what His Excellency has to say in Kebbi State.
Kebbi State, where a former presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, said God has blessed the state with vast land for mass agricultural production, adding that if properly harnessed, the entire nation would have no reason to be hungry. He disclosed this on Sunday when he paid a courtesy visit on Governor Nasir Idris in Government House, Benin, Kebbi. The former governor of Anambra State cited an example of Belgium, which has less than 20% land size of Kebbi, but could produce $20 billion worth of agricultural exports annually. He therefore advised the state government to take advantage of the vast land and engage in cultivation of different crops to generate employment, eradicate poverty, tackle inflation, and check the incessant insecurity in the country. Governor Idris, who was represented by the Secretary to the State Government, Yakubu Bala Tafida, assured the former governor that the present administration had invested heavily in agriculture and it's leveraging the vast land opportunity to expand agricultural cultivation for enhanced productivity across the state.
And that is His Excellency again discussing about agricultural development in Kebbi State. So we've seen the movement from Skyline University in Kano and then to Kebbi State, still having a discussion on how to improve Nigerian food security.
Well, I think the message has been very consistent, and we know this has been the antecedents of His Excellency Peter Obi, right? So from consumption to production has been his mantra, and that's all he has always preached for. And so we see him as a frontliner, front runner when it comes to education. Anything is going to take to foster education in our nation, he's always, in the forefront, actually making sure that we get to receive the dividends of a good democracy and also of a good educational system. So we're not surprised that he went to Skyline University, Kano. We know that that is his forte, and that's basically the kind of things he likes to do, and that's the kind of investments he likes to make. He likes to make people-oriented investments, because that's the ones that gets the most returns. And so we applaud him, and we actually pray that God keeps him to keep doing this good work that he's doing.
Yes, an inspiring leader that he is. Even Kenneth Okonkwo mentioned that. But before we get to what Kenneth Okonkwo said, also His Excellency mentioned the fact that Nigeria is among the top 20 most hungry countries in the world, and that's why he keep pushing for agricultural production and all of this. I think he made this very statement in one of his in one of his talks. Let's take a listen.
Perception. For me, Kebbi State is one of those states that have classified, have maintained, this is not our politics. Nigeria can make more money from agriculture than it makes from oil. The reason why we have a situation we have, especially in the north, of insecurity, and investing in the north will put Nigeria out of its problem. Call it vast, uncultivated land of any nation in the world. Individual states in the north are bigger than countries, including Kebbi. Kebbi is sitting up as a country, and it has about a population of about 5.5, call it 6. Belgium is 11.9. Kebbi has land to cultivate rice, to feed this country. Let's invest money in them. Let's do that. So for me, the north becomes an area where every day I preach and say, we cannot continue the way we're going. It is impossible. I just visited Sokoto. Just entering University of Sokoto, where I started born, on both sides, on the side of the university, agricultural land is not cultivated. You can feed the university. You do everything, and that's what I'm seeing wherever I drive, fly around in the north. We cannot continue like this. We have other countries, similar countries in Africa. If you drive from Morocco, from Casablanca to the port, 3 hours on both sides is all agricultural products. And today, look at what they're doing with agricultural products. So for me, it's a private visit. Thank you for the course visit, but it also gives me opportunity to continue to see what I believe that we need to invest in. We must do that to be able to help ourselves. Because like I said, we'll deal with inflation, we'll fight hunger. Nigeria is 109.
Let all obedience and well-meaning Nigerians join hands together to do more of this very agricultural production to actually reduce the poverty, since that is what our own P2B is advocating for. And then that brings me to the reason why we are actually, or one of the reasons why we are setting up this very Obidient Family Cooperative Society. Let me explain a little. Obidient Family Cooperative Society is supposed to be in all the local, registered in all the local governments in Nigeria as a grassroots support cooperative. A community of obedience in different local government, a formation that will be very solid against the 2027 election. But before then, being in cooperatives makes us to be to do business of mutual benefit, to know that what happens in this local government, the kind of business that goes on in this local government is not the kind of business that goes on in this local government. So we could start supporting ourselves on the kind of products, agricultural produce that is happening in each local government. So, and that's why on each day I volunteer to advocate that everybody should, in their respective local government, join the Obidient family in that very local government. Get it registered. If you don't have the finances, try to join us in our meeting and express it so that we can be able to get support. As I said earlier in the day, someone who is an Obidient, a very sound supporter of P2B, have decided that he is going to take up special registration payments for all in Delta states. And we know that there are other states whom other people might also want to come out to assist. So please go to your local government secretariat, find out from their cooperative section how to register the Obidient Family Cooperative Society. That is the formation we are going to support. That is where we are going to put all the people who are there to see how we can leash some of these agricultural support that we are going to get or we are already getting. As for us around here, we have gotten one registered, of which by tomorrow I'll be showing you the certificate